Okay, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. What is going on, friends? Hello, I'm Darkside Phil, and I welcome all of you to my first stream of the day, a full streaming day, and also my first day back from break and my first day of a streak of streaming days. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment to let you guys know exactly what to expect this week because the schedule is going to be a little bit different. And it should be interesting. It should be a fun week. I've got updates on many different things. I got things to talk about here. So let's talk, everybody. We got a lot to talk about. All right. Fair enough. All right. So first of all, today is Wednesday, July 24th, 2019. How is everyone doing? I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope that you had a good day away from my streams yesterday. I was out and about running errands, doing things that I needed to do in real life, away from streaming and the like. And it was a good day. In particular, the weather was quite good. It was a cooler day with clouds most of the day, which was good because recently here it's been a lot warmer than usual. But it was nice and cool for our day out, so Kat and I had a good time together. Thanks to all of you who respected that and didn't cause drama all over the internet regarding us yesterday. That was very nice. So back to that. Okay, I hope that all of you had a good day, no matter what you did. Today, we're back into the swing of things with ongoing playthroughs and the likes and weekly chill streams and everything that I usually am up to, my usual hijinks, all right? And it's going to be a slightly shorter week this week when it comes to my streaming. My day off next week is going to be a different day yet again. And I know recently my days off have been fluctuating, and it is what it is. It's based off of, Kat's work schedule. We can actually have a day off together, and next week is no exception where it's going to be a different day than usual. And I know that's a little confusing or whatever, but that's life, I guess, right? All right, so let's talk, everybody. Today, what are we doing? All right, today we're going to be doing Final Fantasy IX endgame content. And what I mean by that is this is a playthrough I've been doing since June. And I very much have enjoyed doing Final Fantasy IX since June. It's been a great time. I'm glad I experienced the game for the first time, and you guys have been here every step of the way to help me through the playthrough to make sure that I wasn't missing out on optional side content and the like that apparently is very, very easily missable in the game. Today, we're going to be doing whatever the final kind of stuff is before the final story segment, and I guess we're going to be starting up the final story segment to what I'm going to understand. Maybe there's one or two things left optional to do before I do the final story, and then we head on into that. So I guess we'll see. It's all up to you guys, again, who have been kind of guiding me through the game on what stuff's available at what time. But depending on, what you guys want me to do, we'll see how today goes. Today may be the conclusion of Final Fantasy IX, or some people are saying it won't be, that there'll still be some left even after today's stream. So I guess it really depends on how today's stream goes, right? I guess we'll see firsthand here today how things go and go from there. All right? So that's today's main gameplay stream, Final Fantasy IX. Later tonight, it's my weekly Black Ops 4 Blackout stream. The final countdown for Black Ops 4 Blackout has begun, and what I mean by that is we're in, late July, and we've only got until, October is when the new Call of Duty will be coming out. The new Modern Warfare. And quite frankly, once that one comes out, I really doubt anyone's going to be going back to Black Ops 4 to be playing Blackout. I would expect the player base is going to dwindle dramatically to the point where no one's really going to be caring about it anymore. So we'll enjoy Blackout for as long as we can. And it pretty much is like the last remnant holdout of Battle Royale that I'm really interested in. At this point now, for about 2 years, I've been playing Battle Royale, starting with PUBG, then moving on to games like H1Z1 and Fortnite, then eventually playing, Blackout, and then some Apex Legends earlier this year. But at this point, there's really not that much else going on in Battle Royale. In fact, I would go as far to say I think Battle Royale is finally kind of starting to die out to the point where it's not going to be that big of a deal in just a little bit. So we will play Battle Royale probably once a week, moving forward until the new Modern Warfare comes out, and we'll see how that goes. If the new Modern Warfare is great or whatever, then probably that's going to be the game that's going to be taking over for me playing battle royal in this. But for the short term, we're still doing it. All right. So, yes, Black Ops 4 Blackout Battle Royal tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. 2 hours of chill fun. It's always a great time with the interaction and everything we have on the stream. So I'm looking forward to that tonight. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is very important. All right, tomorrow is Ask the King. Tomorrow is my bi-monthly Q&A show where every 2 months I sit down with you guys on a live stream and we interact with questions and answers, all right? This is your last opportunity to post up questions because the show's tomorrow. So you need to post up your questions over on my website, thekingofhate.com. You go to the forums there. There's a section right there for Ask the King. Please post up questions. When I last checked, we didn't have many questions. And already twice this year I kind of warned you guys about this and said, listen, if we don't get a lot of questions for the show, what that tells me is that interest in the show has diminished to the point that maybe the show doesn't need to exist anymore, okay? And, I mean, essentially, maybe that's what I'm being told here, is that interest in Ask the King just isn't there anymore. I don't know. But the last show, we got tons of questions. Like, the last time I did it 2 months ago, I got an influx of good questions, and the show ended up being great. So I kind of need that to happen again. All right, so please, again, head over to the kingofhate.com forums. Please post up your questions for the show. So that's going to be tomorrow, FYI. When I do Ask the King, the show starts a little bit later. So I'm going to start reviewing questions around 10:15 a.m. I basically take about an hour to an hour and a half to go through all your questions, figure out answers. I also accept Twitter questions during that time frame. So that's going to be tomorrow. And then the stream will probably start tomorrow around, I want to say around noonish. Maybe a few minutes after noon, like 12:15 or something like that. And then the actual Ask the King show will begin by 1 p.m. Pacific time. It typically runs between 2 to 3 hours long, which is why it'll run till around 4 p.m. my usual streaming time. And it should be a good time. I really enjoy Ask the King. That's why, I'll be honest, I would be a little sad if the show went away. But again, if that's what people are telling me, like, there's really no desire to continue on with it, that, the daily streams, the interaction that we have on the daily streams and the pre-stream and everything is enough, then that's fine with me. But I'm just saying, I've been talking about this now for 2 weeks, and only a very small handful of people have posted up questions, so I hope that more people will get up there and post up questions tonight for the show. Okay? Tomorrow night, I'm going to do 2 hours of Judgment, continuing on with that game. As you know, incredibly long game. At this point, I'm over 30 hours into it, almost a month into playing it, over 30 hours into it. And we're only on chapter 8 of 12. And I'm sure, by the way, near the end of the game, the story actually picks up even more. So I would almost think we're just slightly over halfway through the game. So we're going to continue on here. Like I said, I'm trying to play at least 2 to 3 times a week to see, how far we can get in it. It's been a lot of fun. All right, that's going to be tomorrow night. All right. Then on Friday, ladies and gentlemen, it's the new release for the week. And as long as I can raise enough funds between now and then to get this game, which I'm hoping we will, I think it's a discounted game. I think it's only $30. It's Wolfenstein Young Blood. This is the new Wolfenstein game. It's a game where you play as the daughters of B.J. Blazkowicz. It's now the 1980s. B.J. has gone missing in Europe, and it's up to the daughters to take on the Third Reich and try to find B.J. and rescue him, okay? I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is I'm looking forward to the game, and from what the reports are, it's actually a long game, which doesn't make much sense because the game is cheap. It's being sold as a discounted game. I think it's $30. Don't quote me on that. I'm almost positive it's only $30. All right. But the good news is, apparently, from what the game developers are saying, it's actually a long game. Like, people were asking them, well, gee, because you're selling it for a discounted rate, does that mean it's like an abridged or short game? And they responded like, no, actually, this game has more content than the previous Wolfenstein titles we released. And like, what? Seriously? That's crazy. Like, a game that you're selling at a discounted rate will have more content in it than the last 2 Wolfenstein games that you released. That's pretty nuts. Now, the last 2 Wolfenstein games, FYI, both ran roughly between 10 to 12 hours long, depending on, how well you did in them. So that's telling me that more than likely this is going to be a game that I'll be playing probably for 1 to 2 weeks, on and off as a main gameplay stream. All right. So that's a good thing. The bad news is, sadly, I could not really make it happen with co-op. I had some plans. I was working on a few things behind the scenes. And I was really trying hard to make it happen. It's not going to happen. I wanted to do it co-op. It's not going to happen. I'm just going to be playing it solo. So if that means that there's only one of the daughters instead of two, whatever, or if that means there's an AI in the game to team up with you or whatever, I guess that's just what I'm going to be doing. You know, I know it's a little disappointing, but it is what it is. I just did a full co-op playthrough of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Recently, I did a ton of other co-op with things like the Borderlands 2 DLC and everything. This one, sadly, I just couldn't make happen. You know, I tried many different avenues, and it is what it is, okay? So, sorry about that, but it will be a solo playthrough starting this Friday. There will be the main gameplay stream on Friday, okay? Friday night, we're going to do a chill stream of MLB The Show, but I'm going to be very honest with all of you. It may be the last one. The reason being, once again, sadly, the game has come to a point where it's kind of boring. First time this happened was when I was stuck in the minor leagues, and I just could not get promoted to the majors no matter how hard I tried, inexplicably, because I had an insanely high batting record, and it was just boring as hell. Then, at the very last moment, I was kind of like the last hurrah for me playing the game, I got promoted to the major leagues, alright? Now, that was over a month ago. So, in the last month, what's happened is, since I've been in the major leagues, I've done pretty good for myself. My batting record, again, is still pretty good. But I got traded to the Pittsburgh Pirates, which is one of, if not arguably, the worst team in the league. And no matter how well I do, okay, with batting and everything, the team loses constantly. And it's kind of become a running joke now. Watch Phil hit a home run, and then next inning, the team, you know, allows 10 runs to score. It's gotten to the point where basically, like, there's no potential for success because my team is so bad, and there's nothing I can do about that. You can't request a trade in this mode, this road to the show mode. You can't really do anything about it besides suffer through it. And I'm already signed with the Pirates, I believe, for a 5-year deal. So you're potentially talking me going through 5 fucking seasons with this fucking team, suffering because they stink before I can finally maybe get traded to a better team and have a chance of hitting the World Series. You know what I mean? So that sucks. And I'll be honest, last time that I played last week, I didn't really have much fun with the game. I had fun interacting with all of you as usual. I didn't have much fun with the game. I was pretty bored. All right, so potentially what I'm thinking here is that this may be the last session of MLB unless something happens, all right? Unless, you know, somehow it redeems itself, it turns around and it becomes an entertaining stream. But at this point, you know, I don't think there's much else I could do with the game, especially in this mode that we've been playing. It just seems like it's so limited and has a lot of shortcomings. And it's pretty disappointing in that you get stuck on a shitty team and now it's not fun anymore. So we'll see on Friday what happens, all right? Saturday, I'm probably going to play Wolfenstein Youngblood again for a second session. And then Saturday night is probably going to be more Judgment on the late stream, okay? Sunday, probably going to be Dragon Quest Builders 2. We've returned back to the main island, which has been pretty fun, you know, to try to renovate this main island area. And it's unlocked other content like the scavenger hunts and stuff like that. So the game continues to be entertaining to me. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I'm going to do another major session of it on Sunday, okay? Will Dragon Quest Builders 2 end up being a game that's major sessions full-time? Probably not, just being very honest with all of you. It's probably not going to. It's probably going to be maybe 1 to 2 more major sessions, and then maybe it'll become a night stream, so we'll see. Okay? And then Sunday night will be my weekly Minecraft stream, all right? It's a lot of fun. Again, last week we had a lot of fun with Minecraft, so same thing this week coming up. More Minecraft fun Sunday night. And now here's where the schedule gets weird. Monday is my day off this week. Yeah. So another weird week where my day off is a weirdo day. It doesn't make sense, I know. I mean, my days off used to be Thursday. Now they're Tuesdays, and now they're Monday. I know. It's been weird things with my wife's schedule. So it's 5 straight days of streaming for me. Then a day off on Monday. Okay, when I come back on Tuesday, more than likely, it's either going to be Wolfenstein or maybe the end game conclusion of Final Fantasy IX if I don't finish it today, so we can get that playthrough done. And then what I expect to do that week is a balance between Wolfenstein, Youngblood, finishing up Final Fantasy, maybe some more Dragon Quest Builders, and more than likely that first week of August, all right, I'm going to be doing the premiere of my Super Mario 64 playthrough. All right, the winner of the Patron's Choice, excuse me, the winner of the Viewer's Choice event, excuse me, a game that many people have waited for me to play for years and years and years. All right, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this. So I hope that you guys are excited. All right, so that's going to be coming up. Okay. So that's the deal. That's the rough schedule for the next week. I hope you guys are excited for that. Okay. Now, a few things. I have a few updates, positive updates, and a few things I need to update you on. Otherwise, first of all, I have a positive update regarding the status of the Genesis Mini that was pre-ordered for me on Amazon a couple weeks ago, but then the person just supposedly disappeared. Okay, if you don't remember, this guy's name was Cosmic Clownface, and he was here around last week, and he was being very supportive on the streams, and he was, he was contributing, and he actually had pre-ordered me the Sega Genesis Mini. Then all of a sudden, about the middle of last week, this guy's account disappeared from Twitch, and no one knew what the hell was going on. Well, this guy actually emailed me during my day off, and he said, FYI, I am still getting you that. I have no idea what happened with his Twitch account. I'm not going to get into his personal business, but he basically said, don't worry, you're still getting that. And so, apparently the Sega Genesis Mini is still going to happen come September, which is a great thing. I'm very excited for it. And I hope that, come September, it's going to be a fun few days of coverage of me getting it, unboxing it, hooking it up, checking out all the games, starting up playthroughs of certain games in it. You know what I mean? It should be fun. So that's coming up in September, but I just wanted to confirm with everyone that is still happening. He reached out to me during my day off to let me know, don't worry, still happening, still want to see you play that. So that's a cool thing, right? Now, in regards to this month, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't noticed, there's only 1 week left in the month of July. If you haven't noticed, yet again, I had a day off, and subs have dropped significantly. All right, we're down to 443 subscriptions on the channel. We were trying to hit a goal of 525, which, by the way, at the beginning of the month was very conservative of a goal. When we started off July, I had over 500 subs. All right, so we're talking a big discrepancy. A lot of people basically just didn't resub for whatever reason. Now, I couldn't tell you the reasons. All I can do is speculate. My speculation here, all right, would basically be that this month, if you guys haven't noticed, hasn't really had many high-profile games. Just to give you guys an idea of some of the new games that came out this month. Stranger Things 3, the retro tie-in, Dragon Quest Builders 2, and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Coming up this week is a Wolfenstein game. Certainly not the epitome of AAA releases, and certainly not a lot of things that are going to get people hype to come onto a stream and subscribe. You know what I mean? Now, I tried to get some stuff going to get people excited for subscribing. For example, we had the new Marvel Ultimate Alliance emotes that have been in the stream chat for the past week. And by the way, I will give you an update on that in just a moment on what's going to happen with those, okay? I did my best to try to get people invigorated for the month. But the bottom line is, when you get a month like this, okay, when you get a month like this, sadly what happens is people who are here for the hot AAA releases, they don't come by. They go do other stuff or whatever. They'll come back come late August, September, October, November, when all the hot AAA releases, they'll swing by, they'll watch the streams, and they'll subscribe then. But in general, what I've noticed this month, the stream's been great. I'm not even going to complain, right? You guys' support has been amazing, especially considering it's the summertime and everything. But most people who are attending my streams are longtime viewers and fans who are already subscribed. It's hard for me to try to appeal to you guys when the majority of people who are sitting on my streams already are subbed and say, oh, sub to hit a sub goal, right? So that's my guess. I could be off base, but that's my guess as to what's going on with the subs. At this point, we need to basically get around 80 subscriptions between now and the end of the month in 1 week. Realistically, do I see it happening? Not unless a lot of people get motivated to subscribe, or someone comes and very generously gifts a bunch of subs. I think that's the only way it's going to happen. And some people will be like, well, why don't you move the sub goal? I mean, there's no point, because even if I moved it to 500 subs, you know what I mean? Like, we're still so far away. Again, the only way that I really think that we're going to hit the sub goal this month is we get a few generous parties in here. So, realistically, I am a realist. I'm not going to say there's no way that we can hit the sub goal for July. I'm just saying when you have a month like this that's dead for new releases, and the new releases that come out really aren't high profile, you're not getting new viewers on the streams. Not much you can do about it. The goal this month was the Rageathon, where if we hit 525 subs, you guys were all going to be able to nominate and vote on rage-inducing games for me to play. And I was going to do those games in a marathon setting to cause maximum rage, because I'm playing them back-to-back. So you can imagine how frustrated I'd be after one game, and I don't even get a break. I got to play another one, right? I thought you guys would really enjoy that. A lot of people seem to say they love to see me rage, and I thought it would be something cool, but I don't know. Apparently, it's not enough to motivate people to sub. I'm just saying. This is being realistic. So, with 1 week left in the month, if you do subscribe to the channel, all right, you get many benefits, including access to over 35 emotes, which I'll talk about in just a moment. You won't have to watch advertisements when you watch my streams, and I run ads. You don't have to watch them. And you get a cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been an ongoing supporter, all right? So please consider subbing if you're not a current subscriber. And we'll see what happens over the next week. I will remain optimistic, although I'm also a realist. Do I really foresee myself getting 80 subs in a week? More than likely not. And I don't think that, I don't think that, realistically it's going to happen, but maybe a miracle can happen. Who knows, right, guys? All right, now in regards to the emotes, let's get to that subject. People have been asking me what's going to happen now because you had these Marvel Comics themed emotes for a week. They were really neat, but the Marvel Ultimate Alliance playthrough ended in 2 sessions, right? It's kind of silly that this game that was in development, for a long time, we all wanted a Marvel Ultimate Alliance game, came out, and it really played like a game that was 10 years outdated. Still a good game, but disappointing that really didn't, go the distance in realm of content. You know what I mean? Well, here's the thing. I think, anyway, that it makes sense to maybe keep a couple of these emotes that you guys have in particular really enjoyed, because I'm being told that a few of them you guys really like. So obviously, if you guys are really liking certain emotes, I don't just want to get rid of them. You know what I mean? At the same time, we're not going to keep all of them. And a lot of people have expressed concern because they said, man, we really like some of the older emotes that are gone now. Are they coming back, right? So what I would say is yes and yes. What we're going to do is a mix of keeping a few of the ones you guys really liked and then bringing back most of the ones that we had before. So I think I'm going to keep the lead-in finger snap emote, the one with Thanos. I think people really like that one. And I think people like the Wolverine emote because that one can reference a meme that people always talk about, the Wolverine action figure, right? But outside of those two, I think that's the only two we're really going to keep. We're going to get rid of the others and bring back the old stuff. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the Phoenix Wright objection emote, which was very nice for the Phoenix Wright playthrough, but it's now been over for a while, and I don't think we really need the objection emote anymore. So I'm probably going to remove the Phoenix Wright objection and bring back all the old ones and keep the lean-in finger snap as well as the Wolvie emo, okay? That's what I'm thinking, okay? And when am I going to do that? Maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, we'll see. But definitely this week, I'm going to be going in there and trying to set those up and getting them back to where they were, okay? So there you go. There's your answer on that. All these questions, burning questions everyone has. Very burning questions, okay? All right. Outside of all of that stuff, I know, there's so much to talk about. Outside of all of that stuff, something exciting for the month of August, I may have a special surprise / announcement for all of you in August. All right? I'm not going to give any details whatsoever on what it might be. I want to completely surprise you guys with something if it comes together. So I will let you know as things progress, in the next week or two, what if this is possible. But I may have a special surprise and announcement, something positive for you guys in August. And no, it is not a kid. I've told you guys a million times that cat is not pregnant, but people just keep spreading the same stupid rumors. It's just stupidity. But yeah, well, I'll let you know as we get closer, if that's possible and how that will be implemented. But yeah, it could be pretty exciting. Okay. All right. So, my nose is itching like crazy. Ah. Outside of all that, last thing before we get to the next segment, guys, the next segment of the stream, very simply put, a bunch of people keep asking me if I'm playing Fire Emblem. The answer is no. Number one, I have zero interest in Fire Emblem. Number two, a game like Fire Emblem pretty much is not going to get any kind of mainstream attention on my streams. I know because I play many games like that. JRPGs, Western style games, and yes, I understand it's more tactical based game. It's not a turn based RPG or whatever. I don't think it's going to get much attention, and quite frankly, I'm not in love with the series. I played one game in the series and thought it was okay years ago, and it was never for YouTube, and I really have no desire to play Fire Emblem. I'm just being honest with you. I just don't care about it. So I'm not playing it. I mean, that's as straightforward as I think I could possibly be about it, right? I'm not interested. I'm not playing it. There you go. Okay? Fair enough? All right. Okay. Moving on. Let's get to the next segment, guys. And I'm going to be very honest with you. The next segment is the plug segment, gratuitous plugs. Many of you will not care about the segment. Some of you will. And this is going to be a little bit different than the usual gratuitous plug segment. All right, get ready. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for 11 awesome years of me being a content creator. Without going into massive detail about it, I am now a full-time streamer. This means that I rely pretty much almost exclusively on your contributions during streams to keep things afloat. I love doing daily live streams all day long. I love interacting with all of you, and I absolutely love what I do for a living. I'd love to keep doing it forever. I don't think that's viable, but I'd like to keep doing it for as long as I can. But sadly, that means that things, have been pretty tight and risky for me and, not so stable. And it sucks to have a life where week to week, I don't know if I have enough money to pay the bills, if I have enough money to buy the next new release and all of that. Just being honest. And now we're coming up to the time of the month where within a week, all my bills are going to come due again. We're going to be right back to the same situation we were in last month. And so, if you love what I do and you want to support me and allow me to continue to do it, there are many ways that you can contribute. However, being very honest, in the short term, there's a few ways that are going to help more than others, all right? So, if you would like to help with the cost of games, for example, I've got Wolfenstein Youngblood coming up this week I got to buy within the next 2 days. I've got Super Mario 64 I'm going to have to buy in the Nintendo shop within the next couple of days to week. Madden is coming up. Some people have expressed interest to see me play Madden, but I'm not buying that game, just being upfront with all of you. I'm just not spending $60 on it. Okay? If you would like to help with any of that, you can check out my Amazon wish list, which is available listed publicly right below my stream. All right? Or you can type !wish list into the stream chat to bring up a link to it as well. All this basically is a listing of digital currencies available. Credits for PlayStation Network, Nintendo Shop, and Xbox Live. If you purchase some of those for me, that's going to help significantly to defray the cost of any games on the streams. So, please consider it, and if you do, please send me the code. The reason I say that is Amazon wishlist does not work properly with digital stuff. So even though you may buy one of the codes off my wishlist, they're not even going to send me that code. You have to manually shoot me an email at darksidefil@hotmail.com with that code. And I would like to say thank you to those this month who did help. Some people who donated PlayStation credits so I could get Dragon Quest Builders 2. And then last week, a lot of people donated Nintendo Shop credits so I could get Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. And that helped out tremendously, So thank you guys very much. FYI, for Wolfenstein Youngblood, I would like to play it on the PlayStation. Since I have a PlayStation 4 Pro, it would make more sense to play it on the platform where I can get the better performance. So if anyone would be willing to, step up and maybe donate some PlayStation Network credits, that would be much appreciated, okay? Just throwing that out there. Now, in the short term, the best way for you guys to support me would be to do something during a live stream, whether it's cheering, subbing, or tipping. All those things are greatly appreciated, and they help out, all right? And obviously, you guys know I give you shout-outs for contributions during streams, so thank you for that. But the best way to help me right now is by tipping me. Tipping me, give me funds that I can use immediately in the short term to do things. If I start raising tips now, it's going to help me out for next week when all my bills start to clear, which is why I'm actually bringing this up earlier than I usually do. rather than have it hit and then all of a sudden now I'm in the bad position I've been the past 2 months every month. I'd rather start bringing it up now. All right. So please, if you want to help me out the most today, please tip me. Tipping me is tremendously helpful. There's 2 ways that you can tip me. If you look below the stream, there's a tips jar button you can click on, or you can type !tip into the stream chat. Some things about tipping that you should know. Number 1, if you're afraid of contributing, is going to bring troll activity towards your way, and it's going to have people harassing you online, which happens sometimes. I'm not going to lie. There's some ways around that. If you tip me, you don't have to put your real name. You can just say anonymous, or you could leave a different name in a message to hide your identity, and then no one would know it was you. All right. Another thing, you do not need a PayPal account in order to tip me. This is a misconception. People are like, oh, I got to register a PayPal account and do all that. I don't want to do it. You can just use a debit or credit card. There's a button to do so right there on the PayPal tips page. It's not complicated. People have told me it's incredibly easy to do it. So please give it a look. And please, if you like the streams, you like what I do, you like the content, the best way to help me right now is tipping me. So please consider tipping me. Fair enough? Straightforward. That's as straightforward as I can be with all of you. You know, I don't want to sugarcoat it. I don't want to, you know, say a million plugs when in reality it's really that's going to be the bottom line of support, how I'm going to be helped the most. So thank you guys for even considering it. All right? All right, guys. So now what we will do for the final segment, let's go ahead and do shout outs for those who have already contributed on a stream. And then we're going to get set up here and get started with Final Fantasy IX. Okay? So first of all, what I'd like to do is give a couple shout outs to people who contributed during my time away. All right, so we actually start off with Golden Colts, who did 2 cheers yesterday. Thank you very much, Golden Colts, for those cheers during my day off. I appreciate that. Excuse me. Then we've got RFHC5, who did a 150-bit cheer yesterday, and asked the question, if Resident Evil 3 was to come out next year as a remake, and would you play the original this year or wait for the remake to come out? You may not be aware of this, RFHC5, but I already played the original. If you actually take a look back on my Dark Side Phil channel, it was about, I would say, 3-4 years ago, but there was a summertime when I was basically trying to catch up on all the Resident Evil games that I had never played, because in reality what I was trying to do was kind of prepare for the release of Resident Evil 7, alright? And I played Resident Evil 3, I played Resident Evil 0, I played Resident Evil Code Veronica, I played like a million Resident Evil games that summer, okay? And it was the original Resident Evil 3 emulated on the PlayStation 1. It was actually the version available on PlayStation Network. By the way, warning everyone, Bottle Crunch incoming in 3, 2, 1. There you go. Yeah, so I played all those kind of classic. I also played Resident Evil 4 HD. I remember that too. Yeah, I played Resident Evil 4 HD, the HD version that I had, because I had gotten it years ago. If I remember, when I bought Resident Evil 6, I bought the collector's edition, and the collector's edition came with digital codes to play all the like HD remasters of the classic games that were available. So if I remember, I played Resident Evil Code Veronica X and Resident Evil 4 HD, and then I played Resident Evil 3 as the original PS1 version. So I've actually played all the old school Resident Evils. The only one I didn't play was Resident Evil Outbreak, which is that one where you had to have an online connection and interactivity with other people. So obviously it's not even possible to play that anymore because that's not available anymore to do that online stuff. So it's definitely a full playthrough available on my DSPGaming channel on YouTube. Just to forewarn you, I remember particularly a lot of rage because that playthrough is very different from Resident Evil 1 and 2. The game itself is very different. I remember in particular, there were like no fucking ink ribbons. You know, it's so stupid. Like, out of all the Resident Evil games I've ever played, that's the only one where I had a significant problem with not having ink ribbons and not being able to save. It seems like they screwed it up. I don't know. That's at least my opinion. And in particular, when I was playing the game, people told me, yeah, if you're not aware, Resident Evil 3 was not supposed to be Resident Evil 3. It was supposed to be a spin-off title. And Resident Evil 3 was supposed to be a completely different game. But then for whatever reason, it got shit-canned. And so this other game became Resident Evil 3, and that's why it kind of feels very different from other Resident Evil games. I'm certainly not saying it was a bad game. I actually liked it overall, but the fact that there was no fucking ink ribbons half the game was really pissing me off. So just to forewarn you, all right. But anyway, yeah, that playthrough is live on DSPGaming. So no, there's zero chance I'm gonna play Resident Evil 3 again before a remake because I've already played it. You know, I'm not gonna go back and play it again. Especially because in particular, I remember I didn't really like it as much as the other Resident Evil, so I'm not gonna go back and subject myself to that. So instead, I'm going to wait for the remake and play the remake whenever it's available. Okay? Alright, thank you, RFHC5. Continuing on. 9 hours ago, Bob Epic Team subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Bob, for the sub. Also, Coach C. Patterson subscribed overnight. So thank you very much, Coach C. Patterson. I appreciate that. Now we move on to people who contributed during today's stream. The first cheer of the day was from Dolan Darker, who asked, hey there, dude. I think there's a little bit too much chill games you're playing now. Maybe look up for some good indie games to mix it up. I hate to tell you this, Dolan Darker, but every time I try to play an indie game, it fails miserably. Like, miserably. I'll just give you a perfect example. Recently, I played the Stranger Things game, which is a very indie-style game, tied in with the Stranger Things 3 plotline. I got nothing but complaints. Like, literally nothing but complaints during the playthrough. Wah! It's an indie-style game. Wah! The graphics aren't modern. Wah! This game's boring. To which I responded, boo-hoo, I like it, and I'm going to play it. So I did. I toughed through it and played it, but it was like pulling teeth every one of those streams. Seriously, man. And that's just an idea. Honestly, Dolan Darker, all right, just being honest with you. Even though I agree with you, like a lot of the games that I'm playing have more of a chill vibe, they're doing far better than me doing indie games. Seems like whenever I play indie games, it's very hit or miss, and it ends up being kind of a fluke or a failure. Excuse me, it ends up being a fluke if it's popular. Usually people just don't dig them. I don't know why. I'm being very honest with you. I actually really enjoy playing indie-style games such as Metroidvanias, etc., but it seems like my viewing audience is not into them. I've tried it multiple times. It never works out. It always just ends up with people complaining that it's boring, play something else, all right? So, that's the deal. And that's why, right now, you see me playing a lot more relaxed games during the summer rather than other stuff because there's just not much else going on. Okay? Shout out to Infinite Cells, who has subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Infinite Cells. Gustav PC did 100-bit cheers. Hey, Phil, how's it going? It's going well, Gustav. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy for a variety stream this week. You know, there's going to be a lot of variety to my streams this week. Just a lot. You know, as I've already explained with the schedule, you got new releases, you got ongoing playthroughs, chill streams, etc. You know, a little disappointed that I only get 5 streaming days this week because the schedule got shifted again, but that's just kind of life, you know. So it is what it is. All right, continuing on, Fallen 1570 has resubscribed to the channel for 22 months. My stream just froze. Shit. Okay, there we go. Yes, you resubscribed for 22 months. Thank you very much, Fallen1570, for the support. I appreciate that very much. Eternal Napalm also subscribed for 18 months in a row. And he said, hey, man, if you get sick of co-op, I recommend playing Borderlands 3 solo, just like a Fallout game. I'm playing Borderlands 2 solo, and it's a blast. I'll be honest with you. I don't even know if I'm going to play Borderlands 3. I haven't played a Borderlands game in a long time. Right? And for something different and refreshing, right around E3 time, there was a DLC that was released for free for Borderlands 2, which I had, incidentally, for free on PlayStation 4 because the Handsome Jack Collection, or whatever the hell it was called, ended up becoming the free for PS Plus game for the month. So I downloaded it, and I got this free DLC, and I played it full co-op. And basically, my viewing audience told me it was incredibly boring. They didn't like it at all. They thought that it was, you know, kind of a bad time, and it just didn't seem like it was very exciting. In particular, what I found is this. When I play co-op games, I have to be interactive with my audience, with my teammates, because that's how co-op games work. You have to interact, have voice chat, have, you know, direction with your teammates in order to actually succeed in the games, right? And in particular, recently, games such as Apex Legends, and then this DLC for Borderlands, and also the Division 2, which was free for a few days, and I played right there after E3. All right. I played all these games co-op. All I got were complaints. Man, this is boring. Phil's not interacting with us right now, and we really prefer the interactive streams. And you see what I mean? Like, we just got someone complaining there's too many chill streams, yet when I don't do streams with high interaction, I get complaints that the streams are boring because I'm not interacting with my audience. So, it sure seems to me, at least, that the interactive streams are doing better, right, than the non-interactive ones. So, when you say, oh, co-op games, right, Borderlands 3 seems to me a game designed from the ground up to be co-op. If I play it solo, I can tell you right now, it's not going to be a very fun experience. The reason I can tell you that is because I played Borderlands 1 solo. And I, honestly, was highly critical of Borderlands 1. Saying, man, I really don't feel like this game was as good as everyone else said it was. There were some segments that were really grinding and difficult and gruelingly tough to beat. To which people basically criticized me and said, well, Phil, you got to understand that Borderlands was designed to be a co-op game. So there were bosses where if you had teammates, they could have flanked the boss, or you could have been the distraction, and you could have flanked the boss while they distracted, etc. And that co-op would have made the game much easier and much more enjoyable. I didn't play it that way, right? So then I played Borderlands 2 co-op years later, and people said that it was boring. You see what I mean? Like, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. If I was a person who was known for the kind of co-op commentary style with a set group of friends who I play a bunch of games with, and we were doing co-op games, maybe then it would be successful. But let's face it, 99% of the time, I'm playing games solo. I think people have gotten used to that formula. People like it when I play a game solo, I do solo commentary, and then I interact with the streaming audience live during that stream. And these co-op games just aren't lending themselves very well to that. You know what I mean? And so when I look at a game like Borderlands 3, I debate, number one, should I play it co-op or should I play it solo? All right. If I play it solo, am I going to get complaints that sadly it's boring because I'm not playing it co-op the style it was meant to be played? And number two, should I even play Borderlands 3 at all? Maybe it's just not the kind of game anymore that fits my streaming style. You know what I mean? Maybe years ago it did, and maybe now it doesn't anymore. Things have changed, significantly things have changed. So maybe that's just the case. Maybe I just need to face that that every major new release is not going to be for me anymore. Even though, I'll be honest, I am excited for Borderlands 3. It certainly looks really good. It looks really good, and it looks like a lot of fun to me. Maybe it's not what's going to be fun for my streaming audience. So I'm seriously, mulling over in my head, is this something that I should do, or is this something that I should skip? And I don't really have an answer for everyone right now. Okay? So thank you, Eternal Napalm, at least for allowing us to think about this. What I would say is this. Let's think about it over the next, month or so, because we've got basically about a month and a half to think about it before the game comes out. Let's think it over, all right? And collectively, let's come to a decision before the game comes out. Should it be co-op? Should it be solo? Or should it be a skip? Let's think about it and collectively decide and go from there. Because I think ultimately it's going to be a tough decision. I do. I don't think this is going to be an easy one. By any means. I think that this is going to be a tougher decision for us to really figure out. So, okay. Fair enough, everybody? All right. Well, all right. Let's continue on. We got more contributions. All right. Hold on a second. Stupid phone has locked up. Okay. All right, continuing on. Dolan Darker. Cheers. If you're going to skip the new Fire Emblem game, it would be something interesting and new to see. I completely disagree, Dolan Darker, because as I said, number one, I don't dig Fire Emblem. It's not my thing. I've only played one of them. I thought it was okay. I'm not really in love with the franchise, just being honest. Number two, I don't think it's going to be a game franchise that's going to get much attention on my streams. And unlike some games, for example, Final Fantasy IX, where this is a game that people have wanted to see me play over the years. It's one of the very few games in the franchise I never experienced for myself. So it was kind of a double factor of uniqueness to it. I don't think there are many people clamoring for me to play Fire Emblem. Here's what I think exactly. Here's what would happen with Fire Emblem. Okay. The first stream, People would come out. They want to see what it is. It's a new release. By the end of that stream, wow, it's just another weeb game. It's just another JRPG. It's just another turn-based game. It's just another this. It's just another... You see what I mean? And because we know it's not a high-profile, action-based AAA release, by the second stream, no one cares. Now, the problem is with a game like Fire Emblem, it's incredibly long. So now you're talking me, you know, I started up a game that's 40 to 60 hours long, and no one cares about it. Now, the difference here, again, if I had a vested interest in playing it like I did with Final Fantasy IX, here's a game that I'd never played in the Final Fantasy franchise before, I was very excited for it, etc., that's different. But with Fire Emblem, I have, like, no actual desire to even really play it. There's really nothing in that franchise that's, like, super appealing to me that I'm like, oh, man, I really feel like I'll be missing out if I don't play it. You know what I mean? So, in that regard, the answer is a skip. Probably not playing it, all right? Egg Gangster cheered. He says, if you had an Infinity Gauntlet, would you manually lean in and snap away your detractors? That's a stupid question, and I'm not answering. Rashawn J76 tipped me $3 to start up the tipping for today, which, again, is very much appreciated because, as I already said on this pre-stream, the tips are what help me the most right now, and I'm really going to need help and support with tips in the next few weeks, okay? So thank you very much, Rashawn, for the first tip of the stream. And Rashawn says the following. He says, Phil, I haven't been on the stream in a while. I was wondering, are you going to play that new Pokemon Sword and Shield? I might get the bundle pack and donate you the game. I don't know anything about the bundle pack at all. I don't even know what that means. I didn't know there was a bundle pack. But yeah, I definitely want to play it. Definitely because, unlike last year's Pokemon releases, alright, this one's actually a new game. And I do like Pokemon. Even though I do feel like it's slow-paced, I think that this will be the first Pokemon game where I'm doing my new streaming style. So it'll allow me to have a lot of interaction with you guys and basically have it be a lot more fun than if I were just playing solo like I did my last Pokemon game. I think it would be a lot more fun. Plus, modernized graphics on the Switch, which will be great. And I've heard that there's actually going to be some modernized twists and things to the game. It's not just going to be standard old-school Pokemon, which is good. So I'm actually pretty excited for Pokemon Sword and Shield, all right? Now, if you would like to donate, thanks, great. I appreciate that. Let's talk about it. If you want to email me at darksidephil@hotmail.com. I don't know what you're talking about when you're talking about a bundle pack. I'm not aware of anything about that, so I don't want to say, oh, yeah, go right ahead. And I don't even know what I'm talking about, you know? And next thing I know, oh, it doesn't work out or whatever. So, you know, if you're interested in donating, please contact me and we'll go from there. Okay? All right, continuing on. Egg Gangster has cheered, and he says, would you rather have an audience of 15 fans who bring in big tips like Emerald 7, or your current fan base and no big cheers? Here's the truth of the matter, Egg Gangster, all right? I would rather have a stream that is engaged and having fun and having a good time than anything else. And here's why I say that, okay? Because if you have a stream where everyone is engaged and having fun and just having a really good time, then the support is going to come in organically and naturally. That's the truth of the matter. If you're doing a stream and the viewers are having a good time and you're having a good time and you're having fun interaction and cool, you know, just discussions and everything, then the support just comes in naturally. It does. That's what I've noticed, all right? And that's why it doesn't matter if I'm playing a game and the stream has 5,000 viewers or 50. As long as the stream ends up being a fun stream, those streams typically end up being big successes, all right? One of the biggest, most successful streams that I've done in the last 3 years was Dragon Quest XI. Dragon Quest XI was a playthrough that was incredibly long. I think it was almost 80 hours long by the time I was done with the game. And it lasted about 2 to 3 months. And it only had about 200 people watching it every time I played it. But people came out and had so much fun that they said, I'm going to support this playthrough. And they would come and contribute during the playthroughs. So it didn't matter if the playthrough had a ton of viewers or not. They were coming out and being generous, right? But I should say this. It was not an Emerald 7 situation or whatever where someone came and dumped a ton of funds. It wasn't like that at all. It was a group of people who really appreciated the fact that I was taking the time to do a long-form, very in-depth playthrough of a brand new JRPG, and they came out and they supported that, you know, with as little as they could every stream, but it added up to the point where it became very successful, okay? The truth of the matter is, when you get people like Emerald 7, that's few and far between. That's something that's going to happen incredibly rarely maybe a couple times every few years. You know what I mean? How often are you going to get a big, generous contributor who's going to come and just drop a sub bomb? You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen that often. And by the way, much appreciated when it did. I mean, Emerald 7 helped me out tremendously with those contributions back in December. So again, shout out wherever you may be, Emerald 7, whoever you are, wherever you may be, thank you. That was a really nice surprise for the holidays, and it really did help out, so thank you for that. Okay? And the thing is, you never know when that's going to happen again. It may or may not. It may never happen again, right? But you can't be dependent on that. What I've got to do, I've got to focus on putting out fun, entertaining streams for everybody. Making sure that I do a balance, because I understand that my viewing audience is all not one kind of person. Yes, we do have people who really like me and my personality and want to come out and watch me no matter what I play and support me no matter what I do. And basically just in general, they want to be nice and make sure that I can keep doing this for a living, okay? But at the same time, there's viewers who will only come out when it's a brand new release. They'll only come out when there's something hype going on. You know what I mean? And basically, I got to find a way to cater to both audiences, which is tough. It's a very tough balance to do so. And so, you know, that's why, even though I would love to just play JRPGs all day long, I'm not interested in doing that. I have to do a balance of content, okay? So, to answer your question, there's really no definitive perfect way to do it. For me, it's just trying to find a way to make people happy. And I know that if people are happy and I'm happy, then overall, the contributions are going to come in organically, and that's what it's all about. Okay? All right, Dolan Darker has done a 50-bit cheer. And he says, can you make sure the Fire Emblem game as a chill game like Final Fantasy IX viewers wouldn't matter much like with Final Fantasy IX streams? Keep that in mind. I just played Final Fantasy IX, and before that, I just played Phoenix Wright. I'm just about to play Mario 64, which I know is not going to be a mainstream popular game. I have no interest in Fire Emblem. The answer is no, 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 no. Well, maybe no, no, no. I'm not playing Fire Emblem. No. I think I've now answered definitively enough on this stream. What do you think? No. No, I'm not doing it. Okay. Awful Waffle. Excuse me. Has resubbed to the channel for 2 months. Thank you very much, Awful Waffle, for the resub. No, I'm not playing Fire Emblem. Thank you very much, Awful Waffle, for the resub. An anonymous gifter gifted a sub to Diving Headbutt, who has now had a 6-month subscription to the channel. Congratulations, Diving Headbutt. Hope you enjoyed the sub, and thank you, Awful Waffle, for the support. That is very much appreciated. Thank you. Excuse me, not Awful Waffle, the anonymous gifter. Thank you, the anonymous gifter, for the support. I read the wrong line. Okay. West Side Rascal has tipped me $2 and says tipping helps the most. Let's have a good stream. Thank you very much, West Side Rascal. You are correct. It helps me the most right now. Thank you very much for listening and for contributing. And thank you for the sentiment. All right, thank you for the $2 tip. Let's update the total tips. We also received a $1 tip from Uzi Go Hard, who says, hey. All right, well. Hey. Hey to you too. Thank you very much for the $1 tip. That gets us up to $6 in tips. Very nice. Okay. Italian Frog did a 50-bit cheer and said, you talked about how when you were white hot popular on YouTube, you were able to pay off your previous debts. If you became white hot popular again, well, it's not going to happen, but I guess this is a what if scenario. If you became white hot popular again and managed to pay off your current debts, do you think you'd be able to stay out of debt? In this case, I'm going to say yes, and here's why. Previously, in my previous life before I was a YouTuber or content creator, all right, I made a lot of stupid decisions that were based off of just me being ignorant about a lot of things. I racked up a lot of debt that otherwise could have really honestly been avoided, and was just really irresponsible and stupid. And it kind of lingered with me, along with other things. You know, I had student loan debt, I had credit card debt. It was dumb shit. It was me frivolously spending on garbage, all right? The situation I'm in today, sadly, is based on me making bad decisions based off of basically incorrect assumptions, all right? You know, back in 2013 and 2014, when I made a lot of financial decisions that were, you know, resulted in me being in the situation I'm in today, I was assuming that even if my income went down to some extent on YouTube, that I was going to find a way to keep stuff going at least considerably close to what the amount of money that I used to make. That is not correct at all. Not even in the least slightest. To give you guys some perspective, all right, compared to what I used to make on YouTube, all right, in 1 month's time, I now make, and this is no exaggeration, 1/10 as much on YouTube as I used to. 1/10. So just imagine that. Think about what you make at your job now, and then all of a sudden you make 1/10 of it. That's the situation that I'm in my real life right now. I never thought that it would be that bad. I thought, okay, maybe it'll go down by 15, 20%. Maybe naturally, things will happen that'll make my income go down. I never thought in my wildest dreams that being a full-time YouTuber would go from being incredibly profitable to basically I wouldn't even be able to pay basic bills as if I had like a part-time job. Seriously, like it's that bad. And incidentally, it's not like I lost my fan base or whatever. There's still thousands upon thousands of people who watch my videos on YouTube on a daily basis. It's YouTube's ridiculously bad business decisions that destroyed their business and lost them all the advertisers that used to make them money. That's why I had to change up my business model multiple times over the years to try to keep things afloat, and it screwed everything up. Okay? So this reason I'm in the situation I'm in is basically because I assumed incorrectly that YouTube couldn't possibly fuck up so bad that my income would go down by a dramatically exponential margin. But it did, because they did do things so badly that they fucked the whole business up. Like, they really screwed the pooch. I don't even know how else to say it. Like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They ruined their own business. So, that's why I'm in the situation I'm in now. At the time, back then, when I was making big money on YouTube, I, again, kind of frivolously spent on a few things. Not too many things, by the way. If you notice, I never was driving a crazy-ass fucking sports car. I wasn't sailing on a yacht. I wasn't wearing fucking Gucci clothing. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't go nuts. And I never went out crazy doing insane things. Although, admittedly, I wish that I still had the money that I'd spent on the stupid statues and shit that I've got sitting around my house now. You know what I mean? By the way, you idiots who think that a BMW is a sports car, you are morons. A BMW is not a sports car, especially not the model that I had. You guys are idiots. Boy, that is the most stupid thing I think I've ever heard in my life. Every person who just said that in stream chat, you should be ashamed of yourself and just see how immature and stupid you are to think that a regular low model end BMW is a fucking sports car. You are so dumb. Wow, you are stupid. But what I'm saying is I didn't run out and buy a sports car. I'm not driving a fucking Ferrari. You know what I mean? Someone who was making the money that I made for 1 or 2 years there might have ran out and did some really dumb shit. And luckily I didn't do that, But again, yeah, I made decisions based off of what I was making at the time. The money that I spent and the debt, all right, that I incurred when I moved out here across the country, was pretty significant. And it was based off the fact that I was assuming I was going to make a certain income level that I just don't make anymore. And, it sucks. There's no way that I could have predicted that. And, it's just life that it happens. But, no, let's say, for example, somehow I were to find a way to pay off all my debts right now. Go clean slate. There's no fucking way that I would make crazy, risky financial decisions. You know what I mean? Like, I would be incredibly conservative. And the bottom line is also, I love where I live. I'm married. I have a beautiful life with my wife. We love this area. We have no intentions of moving. We have no intentions of doing anything expensive at all. We just want to basically be where we are and not have these horrible debts ruining our lives. You know what I mean? Like, that would be amazing. It would be like peace of mind. Not having to worry about a debt collector calling every day or, You know, can't afford the new game for the stream. Oh my God, the freaking internet's gonna cut out because we couldn't pay it. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what the situation we're getting to. And it's not a good feeling. And, you know, that's what we want to avoid. That's all we're looking to do. We would never go, you know, make a crazy amount of debt again. That's nuts. The last thing I would do, you know, I'm so different. I know so much more now, and now I know no matter how good things are going, don't count on them going that well forever, because they're just, you know, that's life. Life will find a way to come bite you in the ass. Is exactly what happened with me. Things were going so amazingly well. I was like, there's no way they could possibly get bad, you know, and then they did, you know. It is what it is, I guess. That's life. You learn. You live and you learn. So I would say, if I were to somehow magically find a way to get a clean slate, which realistically is it ever going to happen without winning the lotto or some crazy ass, really generous benefactor coming out of nowhere and saying, I want to help you, Phil. Here you go. No, I don't think I would ever get into a bad situation like this ever again, because I've learned from my mistakes. Okay. Okay. Moving forward, Bagel Goose has cheered and said, They Are Billions is coming to Xbox and PS4. Would you be interested in playing it? What is that? I've never heard of it. So I guess the answer is no, unless someone tells me what the hell that is, or I should have interest in it. I never heard of it. They Are Billions? I don't know what that is. So anyway, I guess the answer is no, unless someone can tell me it's something that I should be interested in. Never heard of it. Okay? All right, Rashawn J tipped me another $1, says, what's your email so I can email you? It's darksidephil@hotmail.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know exactly what you're talking about in regards to donating Pokemon, and we'll go from there. Heads Not. Cheers. What happened to the DSP frog emote I made you? Pour one out for my frog. I have no idea. We have 2 frog emotes. So I don't even know what you're saying. Like, these frog emotes were frog emotes designed by fans and submitted, and I said, okay, since people seem to like my, you know, the whole frog meme or whatever, I would consider adding them, and I did. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you also designed a frog emote. We already have 2. I think that's more than enough. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure we don't need 12 different fucking frogs at this point. But I guess thanks for the offer, or thanks for designing one. I wasn't even aware that there was yet another frog emo, you know, lingering out there. So, all right, folks. So before we adjourn and we begin with Final Fantasy IX Endgame, which again I hope you guys will help me with. Hold on one second. First of all, I want to switch out my couch pillow here because this one is flattened to shit. It really is. Oh my god. This one is like crushed like a pancake. All right, hold on a second here. Let's do this. So, what I really need to do, I need to find a really nice supportive pillow to put on this couch, since the couch is so sunken in at this point that there's zero support. I've been looking around, haven't really found one yet. Everything that I see is just like a, you know, a cushion for a chair in a kitchen or something. I don't see anything that's like a good supportive pillow I could put here to give me any kind of support on the couch. I don't know. I'm going to have to look around. My dad suggested I look online because he said that he had an older couch, and what he did is he bought this memory foam material, and basically this material is cheap. You could buy it like in bulk online, and then you could just cut it. And he's like, and then you could put that material into your couch cushions, and maybe it would like push them back, buff them back up. So I guess we'll see. Oh, Heads Not says it was the second frog that's not here. The second frog is here. It's the Thor. Look at the Thor emote. It's your frog, dude. Your frog emote was made into the Thor emote, and your frog emote is going to come back. That's one of the ones that will be returning this week, because the Thor emote was just short term for the Marvel Ultimate Alliance playthrough. All right, so don't worry, your frog emote is returning. There it is. People are using it right now. Okay. All right. So anyway, yeah. All right. So I swatched out the cushion here. I got a little bit more support now, but not too much. Okay. So what I would like to do is give a shout out to the top 10 cheerers of the week so far. Keep in mind this leaderboard runs all week until Sunday night. So still ample opportunity for you guys to cheer and get up on the top cheers of the week leaderboard. But I'd like to give credit to those who already cheered, starting this week, all right? So we have a tie for 9th place between Ripley Atomic and We Stream No Games. Thank you guys very much. 8th place is We Vote Sinn Féin, which I believe is some kind of a political party in Ireland, which I'm not going to be... I'm certainly not going to be talking about on the stream. But thank you for the cheer regardless. Number 7, Jingle Massive. All right, 6th place, Cody Carls. 5th place, Why Can't We Be Friends? 4th place, Monkeys Bourbon. 3rd place, Vote Democrat. 2nd place, Johnny Skidmarks. And then in 1st place for the week, RFHC5 so far. So thank you guys so much for the support. Thanks to everyone who cheered so far this week. You will make it up on that leaderboard if you cheer and make it to the top 10, all right? Looks like we got one final contribution from Sleep Rocket, who did a $1 tip and says, Phil, would you consider playing Nelky and the Legendary Alchemists? It's kind of a Minecraft-like game. I bet it would be awesome for a late-night stream. Never heard of it. It's not out of the question. Thank you for the suggestion. Right now, honestly, what I'm looking to do is trying to clear up my late-night streams because I realized that, for example, MLB probably is wearing out its welcome, and after this week, that game might be retired. However, we do have Dragon Quest Builders, which is a fun game and very different from Minecraft, and I'm enjoying it, but it's not doing very well as a mainstream. And I'm thinking that might be, a game better suited to be a late stream, which I'd be totally okay with, but that means that we need another space. See what I mean? We need somewhere to put it in the late stream lineup. And if that's the case, now we don't really have room for another late stream game. You see what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Thank you for the suggestion. Never really heard of it and not very interested in it right now. But what I'm thinking is maybe soon, shortly, I'll be looking for more late stream games or whatever, and we can go from there. But for now, I don't think I'm very interested, and I don't think I'll be playing it in the short term, okay? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for a very supportive pre-stream. Let's double-check sub count before we begin. 442 subs. We lost another sub. Great. Well, as I said, there's not much I can do about this, guys. So just in summary, before we begin, because we're about to begin with Final Fantasy IX gameplay, all right? Best ways you can support me right now would be, number 1, get something off my Amazon wish list, and be sure to send me the credits if and when you do that, because I do need you to send it to me. They do not send it to me automatically. So that's number 1. Number 2, tipping me. Tipping me right now helps me out more than anything else. All right? Let's see here. Because tipping me allows me to pay bills. Tipping me allows me to buy the new games. Tipping me basically gives me tons of information. Tons of information. I mean, tons of advantages is what I meant to say. Via other contribution methods. There's 2 ways you can tip me. Below the stream, there's a button. All right, that you can click on. Or you could type !tip into the stream chat. All right, either way is very much appreciated. So please consider tipping me if at all you can. All right, guys. Looks like someone named Kat has resubbed for 2 months and says, fix it. I don't know what you're talking about, but thank you very much for the 2-month resub. Okay? Fair enough. All right, guys, that's it. Let's end the pre-stream and let us begin with the Final Fantasy IX stream. Thank you very much for being patient, everyone. I had a lot to talk about today, but now let's get this show on the road.